Which one would you use, David?
So to me, the answer seems kind of obvious. The only thing among all these objects that would transport soup would be the pitcher.
I think most of us would give the same answer. The pitcher, not the backpack or the car or the box. Now for humans, for you and me, this is a relatively easy problem. All of us get it right pretty much all the time. But what about a machine? What about a robot? How would a robot decide that a pitcher is a good utensil to use for transporting soup from the kitchen to the dining table, but not a backpack or not a box? For a robot, this is a surprisingly hard problem. So the question then becomes, well, what is it that makes it easy for humans and hard for robots? How can we program AI agents so that it will be easy for them as well? One important thing to note here, this is another example of incremental learning. Now, we have come across incremental learning earlier when we were talking about incremental concept learning. There we were given one example at a time. That was the example of arch, and we were learning one concept, the concept of arch. This is in contrast to other methods of machine learning, where one is given a large amount of data and one has to detect patterns of regularity in that data. Here, there is learning occurring one step at a time. From a small number of examples, one single concept is being learned. We also came across the notion of incremental learning when we were talking about chunking. There too, there was one particular problem, and from a small number of previous episodes, we chunked a particular rule. This notion of incremental learning permeates much of knowledge-based AI. Another thing to note here, this notion of explanation-based learning is related to creativity. We talked earlier about the relationship between creativity and novelty. Here is an example in which an AI agent is dealing with a novel situation. Usual utensils for taking soup from the kitchen to the dining table are not available. What should the robot do? The robot comes up with a creative solution of taking the pitcher as the utensil.